All right, let's get some headlines from across the state. First and foremost is that it's game week. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yeah.
Starting on Thursday, there will be 717 Texas high school football games scattered hither and yon. The weather is interesting because the weather for, I don't know, perhaps you noticed, the last 3 months has been the molten core of the sun. It has been just brutal out there. And now,
On
this
game
week,
there's nothing but rain in the forecast.
it decides to just rain constantly.
Yep.
Now, the good thing is I think that it is going to start tapering off Wednesday, Thursday. Friday looks fine.
Friday looks good.
Friday looks good. Friday looks like it's going to be like in the 90s most places, like low 90s, which is spectacular.
Oh, yeah, for week 1 of high school football?
Oh, my gosh, absolutely. So the weather looks like it'll cooperate for the most part. I know that we are, and we'll talk about this later in the week, but I know that the Dave Campbell's crew, is going to be loading up that swag wagon, and we're going to be heading east on Thursday night to kick off the season in Beckville. Beautiful Beckville, Texas. So
Did we decide where we're eating yet?
No.
There was a debate going on in the Slack between 2 places, and I didn't know if there was ever a
Longview
decision.
Tyler is kind of depends on which path we want to go.
I bet it depends on what time we
I
get
am
out of
normally
here.
deferential to Step, but it sounds like, so basically it's between Bodacious Barbecue in Longview or it's Stanley's in Tyler. Both of which are excellent. Both of which I've had. Both of which thumbs up. Like this is not a commentary on them. One of the questions we're going to have is availability, because from what I understand, Bodacious,
I think it closes at 6.
I think it closes at 6, and I think they have a tendency to run out of food.
Right. So it's one of those things that if we pass Longview, we're really rolling the dice on if we would have food to eat.
We're going to be going through Carthage. I wonder if there's anywhere that we can. You think Scott Surratt wants to get together for dinner?
I don't know if he does, but I want to get together with dinner with Summer.
We should just text like Surratt and be like, "Do you want to get together for dinner?"
Yeah.
I'm going to text him.
Do it.
He's probably going to be scouting. But anyway, getting ready for
Well, that's why I said Miss Surratt could come. She's fantastic.
Anyway, we're very excited because it's game week. Make sure you are checking out TexasFootball.com. We're going to have all sorts of stuff to get you prepped for week 1, including later today, the week 1 episode of Tep and Step. Did you know tomorrow is the 5-year anniversary of Tep and Step?
Wow. Look at y'all.
We've been doing this for 5 years.
You've been nerding out for 5 years.
He's my little buddy.
Anyway. Your little buddy's going to be in a studio today. Your little buddy is back in the great state.
My little buddy, by which I mean a man who is both older and larger than I am. And smarter. Let's be real. Like
he's checking all of the boxes.
Yeah. So let's get to some headlines from across the state. Let's start in we're going to mostly be in the college football ranks, and it is big name starting quarterbacks season.
Yep.
There were three FBS teams in the state of Texas that named their quarterback in the last week. We will start with, of course, the biggest one, and that is at North Texas, where North Texas has named Austin Awney to be their new once and future starting quarterback. He was a guy who completed 51% of his passes for 9 touchdowns and 9 interceptions last year. He's an Argyle guy. I'm not trying to be a jerk because I am much older than I am. He's pretty old though, right?
He's almost 30. Like he's pushing 30. So
Austin Awney,
I think he's 29 or
Austin
30.
Awney was born on September 6th, 1993, which means he will be turning 29 in 2 weeks.
Now, for people who don't know, he was actually I don't know if he went somewhere for college or went straight from high school, but he was in the Yankees affiliation, for Major League Baseball for a lot of years, and then decided, hey, I've got 4 years of eligibility left. He was kind of done with the baseball thing, and so that's why he is so much older.
So Austin Awney has retained his quarterback spot. That may not be big news, except for the fact that they did bring in Grant Gunnell. Grant Gunnell, the Memphis transfer, but he has apparently, at least to start the season, beaten out Grant Gunnell to start the year as it will be on Saturday. Because remember, there's college football on Saturday too. When North Texas visits UTEP, it will be Austin Awney taking the QB1 snaps for the Mean Green.
Apparently, that game is close to being sold out. According to everyone who's around UTEP, they say they've almost got 40,000 tickets out for that game.
According to Mike Craven, it's going to be their first conference sellout expected since 2005.
How cool is that?
Big doings out there in El Paso. They're going to be there. By the way, two-thirds of the ROF crew are going to be out there with Mallory and Craven. Ish is going down to San Antonio, right, for the triple?
Yep.
For the triple at the Alamodome? Anyway. Also of note, and this came down last night, and that is that the quarterback battle at Texas Tech has been settled for now, as it will be Tyler Shuck to take the snaps. Shuck will be the one, of course, the Oregon transfer. He was the starter coming out of fall camp in 2021. He was the quarterback until he broke his collarbone. That's when Donovan Smith stepped in and played. He played a little bit late in the season, including their big win over Iowa State. It was going to be Shuck, Baron Morton, and Donovan Smith, but it is Tyler Shuck who will be their starter against Murray State on September 3rd to take over Zach Kitley's offense there for Coach Joey McGuire. So Tyler Shuck is the new, once in future starting quarterback for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. And then there's a team in Austin that has named their quarterback, and that is Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers is going to be the starting quarterback for the Texas Longhorns starting the season.
Not a surprise.
Now, it will be his first start. He did not throw it'll be his first pass whenever he drops back to pass for Texas.
He handed it off 3 times at Ohio State?
He took like 3 snaps at Ohio State before training. Now, there's an interesting thing going on at this, and maybe this is too inside baseball from a media perspective, but there was a lot of smoke about Hudson Card really pushing for the starting quarterback job there, and that Ewers didn't look good, and that Hudson Card was like right on his heels and may even win the job, right? It now appears that a lot of that was not true. A lot of that was like smokescreen.
I was like, clickbait.
And this is Greg Tepper speculation. Put up the big graphic. Greg Tepper speculation. I wonder if that was intentional. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that was trying to flesh out some leaks within the program.
Yep. And
trying to find out who's talking to whom from a media perspective. Anyway, well, very interesting there.
It was eyebrow raising the entire time.
Because it just doesn't seem like it just seems so like Hudson Card's a good player, but like Quinn Ewers has been locked and loaded as the QB1 for a while now, and I don't know. I found that to be a lot more the news to not be particularly interesting, like eyebrow raising whenever they named him the starting quarterback, but all that time when people were like, oh man, like Hudson Card, like I'm like sources are saying, it's like I don't know. Now that has been kind of proven to be,
not accurate.
Bullsh. I don't know. I think there's some games going on. There's some gamesmanship with the media, which I love. I think that's great.
I'm here for it.
So there's that. Okay, let's talk about another thing that came down last week, and we have been hearing about it ever since we were at Lone Star Conference Media Day, and that is, you may remember that the Lone Star Conference has added 3 teams from the Pacific
Northwest
Athletic Conference, or Pacific. I don't remember the.
It's 2 Oregon teams, or Oregon and Washington.
It is Central Michigan or Central Washington, Western Oregon, and then it is Simon Fraser. Simon Fraser is in British Columbia, is in Canada. And remember, we've been talking about, oh my gosh, A&M Kingsville is going to have to travel to Canada.
Over 2,000 miles.
Angelo State is going from San Angelo to Burnaby, British Columbia. Like, amazing. Well, not so fast, because the Lone Star Conference confirmed on Tuesday to our own Mike Craven that Simon Fraser University will relocate 4 of its home games to Blaine High School in Washington. They will play the games in Washington. The reason is that, and this is a quote from the Lone Star Conference, quote, due to the Canada-USA border restriction that requires all visitors entering Canada to be fully vaccinated, end quote. So to enter Canada right now, you've got to have the COVID-19 vaccination.
And be fully vaccinated.
Correct. And the Lone Star Conference has said, well, I don't know. I would love to talk with Jay Perner. I don't think he would probably go on the record about this, to be real honest. But my guess is they don't think they can get everyone to get vaccinated, and they'd rather not make a big deal out of it.
Right.
That is for me because you're seeing this in baseball right now. Like baseball, for example, when they're playing in Toronto, whenever a team travels to play the Blue Jays, there's always like a list of like 3 or 4 players who are not able to go, right? And it kind of becomes a big deal of like these 4 players aren't going to be able to make the trip, and they're being put on the restricted list because they're not vaccinated. It's like it's a tell. It's kind of telling. It's kind of blowing up their spot in a lot of ways, right? I think if you again. Greg Tepper speculation. I think the Lone Star Conference just doesn't want to deal with that.
No.
That's how I think it is. I don't think it's any sort of big political statement. I think they'd just rather be like, you know what, what if we just like rent a stadium in Washington and just be cool about it? Like, just not
they had to go through so many different things this offseason to even get this conference put together in that way. I think that they're just like, this is what is set. We're tired of dealing with all of this. Like, just let it be.
Yes.
We'll figure it out.
And by the way, it's the GNAC. It's the Great Northwest Athletic
That's
Conference is where those 3 teams are from. But anyway, so that means that, in fact, Angelo State, Texas A&M, Kingsville, and West Texas A&M will not be traveling to they will not be traveling to Canada. They'll be traveling instead to Blaine High School in Washington. Where's Blaine? Is it in Blaine, Washington? Let's find out together. Blaine High School in Washington is in, no, not Minnesota, Washington. It is, it's in Blaine, Washington. I probably could have told you that. Now, where's Blaine, Washington? You're listening to live coverage of me looking up Google Maps. It's very beautiful. It's right north. It's right on the border.
Right on the border, yeah.
Oh, boy, it's like the first exit in America.
Oh, wow.
It is, wow. It is. It's like you cross the border. It is probably, I'm serious, you could walk to the border.
Is it like text
from
line?
The state. Yes, it's like text line.
It's like text line. It's right on the border of New Mexico.
Yes. So anyway, make sure you go and check that out. Blaine High School. Shout out to Blaine High School. I'm gonna look at their stadium real quick. There's better things for me to be doing with your time, but the stadium looks nice on Google Maps. Street View.
I bet it's pretty. You're gonna have to deal with some weather, which I mean, I guess you would have had to been dealing with.
They're the Blaine Borderites.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Come on, text line. What are you doing?
All right.
The standard
starting to feel better
set.
about this. Yeah. Anyway, there is that news, and then finally, I do want to mention there's a great story up on TexasFootball.com by our own Mike Craven. A lot of great stories up by Mike Craven, but one of them that I really want you to draw into is he talked with Jeff Traylor, Seth Luttrell, and Jake Spavital about the about the transfer portal. And these G5 teams that routinely kind of get plucked by the transfer portal, what do they think about it? It's really interesting, I think really insightful about the number of FBS transfers for these guys. So make sure you check that out on TexasFootball.com. The headline is, In-State G5 Coaches View Transfer Portal as a Net Positive. But it's really interesting to dive into the notes there. So there you have it from some headlines from across the state. Guess what? Next Monday?
It'll be we're back to long show
Monday
with
morning
rankings.
Monday morning fallout.
Yep.
That's right.
Oh yeah, the air raid siren.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.